wanna clear wave 30 and get this achievement, follow along closely because this is how I optimize for the infinite wave run. This build also works for Death Trap 1 and 2, so you can use this as the basis. First, let's upgrade these towers and weapons. You will want Stun Emitter with module number 1, Glacial Beacon with module number 2, Hologram Echo Junrock with module number 1, Thunder Lens with module number 1 if you are just looking to clear wave 30, or module number 2 if you are looking to go as far as possible. Vortex Generator with module number 1. This is especially important because you will need to remove the Tamburinis invisibility, and this Vortex Generator is the only thing that can do that. Shock Inductor with module number 2. You don't need module 1 because there is a lot of crit rate buffs in the Death Trap mode. And then Freeze Jet, which will be your main source of DPS. You will want to pick module 2 because enemies get super tanky later on, so being able to ignore target's defense is very good. Being able to freeze on hit will make your early game much easier, but this is what you will need if you're looking to get past wave 30, 40, and probably to wave 99. Otherwise, if you're just looking to clear wave 30, you can go for the easier route, which is optional module 1. As for Kuroro's weapon, you want Speed Shooter, Repulsion Field, and Stagnation Field. In my run, I only left this at level 1 because I didn't know what else to upgrade, but looking back, you should upgrade this so that the cooldown for Stagnation Field is a lot faster, which will let you have an easier time in the later game. In the early game, you want to get tactics that help you optimize for late game. First tactic you want to get is Lean Mode. This tactic will allow you to compound your sim credits for your late game runs. And if you don't get it in your first set of tactics, just restart the level until you get it. The second most important early game tactic is Supply Replenishment. You want to get as many Matrix Command modulation as possible, since those get very expensive in the Cool Money shop after wave 21. And after getting the modulation command, remember to use it ASAP to get more Matrix HP so you can tank a few hits. Other great early game tactics are Storage Expansion, Budget Optimization, Under the Table, Midas Touch, and Negotiation Strategy. Now for offensive tower tactics, you want to rush Saturation Fire to purple, which means you'll need 4 tactics from this category, because this particular tactic right here and combo that with a whole ceiling of freeze jets, and you are just going to last beyond wave 30. Later on, you will also want to get 4 out of 10 Echo Synergy so that you can get Explosive Junrock, which reduces enemies' resistance by 45%, and stack that with Glacial Beacon, and you will have something to take down the super tanky bosses later on. Alright, now I'll let the me in-game demonstrate what to do during the game itself. So the early game loadout that you want to use is Speed Shooter, the Repulsion Field, have the Glacial Beacon, Stun Emitter. You don't need the Junrock this early on, so maybe you can get Testotite Spikes, Drake, or Echo Path. Honestly, I feel like Echo Path is quite alright, so I'll be using that. Your early game, you want to be using Shock Inductor, but if you have Freeze Jet module 1, you can add a bit of Freeze Jets to help you freeze the enemies. But if you don't, then you're better off not using Freeze Jets in the early game. As for this two, you want to replace the Shock Burst with Thunder Lens. Honestly, there's no reason for you to use the Burst Launcher, it's not that useful. Vortex Generator will be for when the Tamburinis starts spawning in. So in the first round, make sure that you have your Lean Mode. And then we start the simulation with nothing. That is right, we are starting with nothing. Why? Because these tested discords, you can just yeet with the Repulsion, and then switch to our Speed Shooter, which is able to defeat them very quickly. So there is no need for us to have any towers. In fact, let's see, we want to build up our Saturation Fire as well, so that we can get the Glacial Final Burst ASAP. But since the game does not want me to get that, I shall grab this one, which gives me Echo Synergy for the Junrock later on. For wave 2, we are still dealing with pretty weak enemies, so we can actually, I think maybe we can still rely on our Kuro speed shooter until wave 3. If you're very lucky, you can get lean mode, as much lean mode as you want. But I think storage expansion here might be better. This is honestly the best outcome that you can hope for. And so when you want to start building towers, I think wave 4 is the good time to start building towers. You can build one glacial beacon, one stun emitter, and some shock inductors over here. 1 and 2 will be enough. Especially important to capitalize in the early game to get as many of these things as possible. So honestly, this is all that you need in the early game. And remember to use your modulation command. This is very important so that you can deploy cheaper machines. Still want to look for saturation fire. But this works as well. So now you want to focus your repulsion on these, especially the Fey Igni, because that guy is gonna be zooming through everything. So to deal with the Fey Igni, you just wanna just yeet. So once Cool Money Shop is here, remember to buy all of these things. But make sure to see if there's ones that will make the shop cheaper. This is great to buy. So once you have explosive Junrock, you can start using explosive Junrock. This is good to set up for later on. Frozen. So if you manage to like get a lot of HP, honestly you can just tank the damage from this particular guy right here and you just be all good. Of course, this is not what we're looking for. If we are looking for perfection, Then now, since that we have our June Rock, it is time. So we can place our Thunder Lancers here. And since we'll be busy dealing with this Lumi Scale construct, we will be using Speed Shooter. Replace this one with the June Rock for now, because we no longer need the Thunder Lance to do anything else. If possible, try to refresh until you find something that either gives you a lot more money or something that allows you to really start using your glacial freeze jets, because that is how you're going to be doing a lot of damage. And now with the terrain changing, there will be new intrusion points as well as new areas being unlocked. So as you see, your best friend is the Repulsion and a little bit of that Speed Shooter, but mostly the Repulsion, because this Repulsion is really going to help you remove like those super annoying to deal with prisms and allow you to go like very eco mode, so that you will have a lot of sim credits to work with later on. Okay, now that we have finally gotten final burst, it is time to start making all these start using the freeze jets. So once you are able to get freeze jets, you are almost there. And it is time to change the Speed Shooter to Stagnation Field. Well, not yet. Well, honestly, it really depends. But we can change out the Echo Path for Freeze Jet. Because the Freeze Jet now is super enhanced. Prepare. We change out this one for Stagnation Field. And we start the simulation. So basically what you want to do is remove all of these surrounding the Lumi Scale construct, so that all of these can focus target on the Lumi Scale construct. So you can use the stagnation to slow down the Lumi Scale construct while you deal with the rest over there. So just remove all of that. Probably don't forget to slow this guy down again. And just like yoink all of these guys. So if you don't have the freeze jets, you will still be able to clear this Louis scale construct because the lightning at this point in time is still doing a lot of damage. And so that is the layout for wave 11 to 15. And from 15 onwards, you want to start laying out your area with lots of freeze jets. So from 15 onwards, honestly, you can remove these bunch of things here already. Let's go collect our lucky coin. And we can put the freeze jet over here. What? Freeze jet 1, freeze jet 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we can start setting down these vortex generators. Hold the small guys here in place. Have like one glacial beacon right here. Have one stun emitter, one June rock, more glacial beacons, and more June rock. Maybe stun emitter. And I think at this point maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is more than enough. And now here's where you can get the ceiling, dealing more damage. But remember to still be quite eco about it. And here is also where you want to start buying a little bit more frequency neutralizer. Maybe just buy like 4 per cool money shop. You don't have to go all out in buying. You only want to go all out in buying if you are planning to once you're after maybe like wave 40. Because buying all of these early game is not really recommended since they're still pretty expensive. But what you want to do is make sure the duration of frozen is increased by a lot. And now let's save up again. So we start the simulation. And from here on out, you just lay out the whole ceiling with freeze jets all the way through. That's the game plan. Because now you have your setup ready, you just need to have enough money. And like around 10 freeze jets in the early game is more than enough. You do not need to go overkill with them. Instead, you want to be farming your sim credits early on in case of bullshit, like for example, oh, this freaking tambourinist makes it by and hits your tower. And having lots of HP in the early game is going to help you really tank a lot of things later on. Oh, we have one guy all the way over there who made it by. Yeah, so in case of like accidents like that, you have a lot of HP, so you can just choose to ignore that one guy. Well, since one managed to slip by, we can add in like 2, 3, a little bit more fish jets, and we will continue. This is like honestly the best series of enhancements tactics that I can ask for, since it will make my glacial, my freeze jets so much more stronger. So now that the Tambourinist is spawning, few things you want to note. You want to make sure that there is something here that can activate the Vortex generator, so that when the Tambourinist comes by, it will be struck by the Vortex generator that's already active. If there's nothing here and the Tambourinist that goes by itself, the Vortex generator will not activate, since it is a wall tower. And by itself, it will not be able to activate. So you need something over here. So therefore, your stagnation will have to work together with the repulsion to push back some tested discords, so that they will be stacked on top of the Tambourinist. And to make sure that the Tambourinist can be seen, you want to have one vortex, another vortex generator over here. So when it moves here, this vortex generator can see the Tambourinist. And you want to have another vortex generator over here, so that they will continue to expose the Tambourinist. And after that, you want to have another vortex generator over here, and another one 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 over here. But that is for like later in the game. For now, I think maybe like up till round this one here, or maybe this one here will do, because they are not that tanky yet. But as you progress along, this is the placement of the vortex generators that you need in order for all of these freeze jets on the ceiling to hit your Tambourinist later on. So freeze jet. So now, since there's like 2, this is not the time to be saving up on all your money. So therefore, just freeze jets all the way. And they should probably like hopefully die around here. If they manage to make it by, you can have 1 June Rock over here and 1 Glacial Beacon over here. And you protect this by another line of freeze jets. And this should be overkill for this current stage. And so what you want to do on stage 20 is wait for them to spawn in, have your repulsion at the ready, then just joink the 2 spectral prisms, because you don't want them to be healing the Lumiscale construct. And then there will be aero prisms spawning in behind as well. Yoink this one into the water, and then now head on to this side over here. And slow down the Tambourinist. And since I don't want Spectral Prisms to be healing my Lumiscale construct, yoink them out. Oh huh, this is awkward. Well then, seems that I have no choice. I should have removed the... I should have removed this one earlier on. Now that I don't have any tested discords to expose this, I will need to keep this Chop Chop Headless alive. Well, that's awkward. No, you stay back. Okay, so when this guy explodes, you want to make sure that you are able to well, this is okay. So here is where I messed up. Number 1, you should remove you should remove all of these things here, because these things eliminated those tested discords, which meant that I am now unable to deal with this guy over here. And since there's nothing to expose the Tambourinist, is just gonna make its way to my matrix, which is unfortunate. But 10 HP, even if I were to purposely throw 10 HP, 30 and 50, I'll still be left with 10 HP if I throw the whole match. So honestly, this is still a very good outcome. But yes, once you start building all your freeze jets, remember to remove that damn Thunderlands so that it does not mess up the plan. Let me show you the plan again on wave 25. But yeah, this is a good example of, you see how the Vortex generator does not what? How the Vortex generator does not activate when it's being this close to the wall, because it's a wall machine, and so you will need something to activate the Vortex generator. Oh, this is great. Yeah, you need something to activate the Vortex generator so that it will expose the invisibility of that Tambourinist. Okay, wave 25. Now that you see that the Tambourinist is spawning from this direction right here, you will be able to see what I'm talking about, like when there's something over here to activate the Vortex machine. This one, Vortex generator. And then when it's activated, you'll be able to expose and remove the invisibility so that my freeze jets will be able to target that guy. Once again, just remove these two. I do not want my Lumi scale to give the Tambourinist any shield whatsoever, since that would be a problem. Remove this Aero Prism as well. Slow you down. Okay, remove the Aero Prism. And now, so look at how this Tambourinist is being attacked. Yeah, so they can strike this because the Vortex generator is able to see the Tambourinist, and so it removes the invisibility from this guy, and therefore this guy will be taking all the damage. I put the wrong thing. And so if you have space to deal with this guy, you can put it down like this, so that the June Rock will appear right on top of him, which means he will not be able to disable it in time. One, two, three, four. Okay, and here is where these things become very expensive. So no point in buying these anymore. And instead you just want to start saving up, because when battles, when they start coming all converging here and leaving all these corrupted zones, you're gonna have to spend quite a bit to clean up these zones. which will be very costly later on. So yes, I can be more economical since there's nothing coming in this direction from on wave 26. I think a good rule of thumb for if you're going long game after wave 30 is to have at least 30 frequency neutralizers before wave 30. Then at wave 60 you want to have like around maybe like 50 to 60, and wave 90, like beyond wave 80 or 90, you want to have around like 99 max stack of frequency neutralizers, because those will be very important since they are like constantly leaving all of these things on the floor. And now with them coming in once more, it's time to prepare. So by now you should be able to hopefully have a healthy amount of fish jets available. Otherwise you'll be in big trouble. So something like this to cover the perimeter. Some like your combat how do I put it? Your layout should look close to something like this. It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but it should look something close to something like this. And since by the time they reach here, paralysis no longer works on them, it's much better to put the June Rock so that the June Rock explodes on them, and the Glacial Beacon to remove their resistances. And assuming that they make it all the way to here, just like have a bit more of these things. And for big wave onwards, wave 30, 35, all the way to 60, this is the way how you want to handle the big waves. So after filling up all of the ceiling with freeze jets, you start the simulation, and you want to wait at this specific area of the map, which is down here. And what you want to do is you want to yoink the spectral prisms, and then wait for the aero prism to appear, and once again yoink this aero prism as well. Now we run to this side here, slow these guys down. We don't want the spectral prisms, so we yoink them and slow these guys down as well. And we also yoink them. And now for the very important part, we slow these guys down so that they can catch up with the tambourines at the back can catch up. Slow these guys down once again and group these guys to the back. More importantly, we don't want these two to be stacking on top of the Lumiscale construct, which will cause us a lot more problems. So bump them to the back, and make sure the tambourinist is not the tambourine, the flautist is not on the left side here. So you want to nudge it across like this, so that when it comes up here, this Vortex generator is not disabled. Otherwise, you'll be in a lot of trouble later on. Go, get a move on, And so now this guy has his invisibility removed. And with this thing to hold on so that their invisibility will be removed, our other Vortex generators will be able to continuously remove their invisibility. And once the Lumiscale in front pops, make sure that you repair this Vortex generator. It's very important to keep this chain of Vortex generators going. as well as like this Vortex generator over here. Thankfully, those two Tamburinis died together, so it spares us a lot of the pain of repairing this. And now we are just like left with the Flautist. And for the Flautist, you don't have to worry too much. Just make sure that, well, it steps here and then it will perish from the cold shower. Ta-da! And you'll be done. Wave 30 completed. Easy game. Then from here on out, you just have to rinse and repeat all the way until wave 60, because wave 60 is still the same. I think wave 63 onwards will be slightly different, but the movement pattern on 65, 70, all the wave in multiples of 5, their movement patterns are still the same. So you can use this same strategy all the way until like 95. And 99 will be slightly different since there's times 3, but well, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I'm not gonna show the entire thing because this whole thing to reach wave 99 takes around 5 to 6 hours. But yes, this is how you can reach wave 30 in the Tidal Simulator's defense. Wait, what? But yes, this is how you can reach wave 30 in Tidal Defense Simulator. I hope you enjoyed this, and good luck to you. Happy gaming, Rovers, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye. Goodbye.